then what will happen, I can explain in a system of 6 steps. And each of these steps can be long or short. Some of these steps, even if you want, you can skip. It doesn't really matter. That is up to you. But with these 6 steps, anybody can go into deep meditation if they are followed. That is really independent of how advanced or new you are to this thing. So the first step is to make the mantra meditation as a ritual. Meaning you are adding more things to it. You might use a bell, you might use some light, you might dance around. Mudras also often used. Yeah. Just engage fully. Whatever you can move, whatever you can use, engage it with the mantra and sing with as much beauty as you can, as much devotion as you can. As loud, I wouldn't say as you can, but really, giving a nice sound, really going into the sound. That is the first step. Some people may have to skip it because their house doesn't really allow any such strange behavior. If other family members don't like it, okay. Then you immediately go into step 2. That should be okay in every house. Step 2 is where you drop all the extras, just go to the mantra, still chanting it, but not very loud. Rather, quietly, chanting quietly. And to keep that for some time is absolutely advisable in the beginning. Chanting quietly. This is very good on the energetic level. Third step is you stop singing outside and you go inside. You continue the mantra inside. As I said, first maybe still with some emotion, making it nice there. And that is the most difficult part, because their thoughts will very easily come in. And one way to deal with that is to chant the mantra inside and at the same time visualize it. Meaning, we have 2 sides to our brain, called Shiva and Shakti side, lunar and solar. The one side of our brain is more rational, more thinking in words. So when we going Om Bhur Bhuva Svaha in our head, that's only half of our brain. The other half of our brain works in images. It's more emotional. So if you only use words, then it's very easy for the other side to bring up some image and thereby disturb your meditation. You will probably not really notice, some image is coming. Some image will come, and from that image you will start thinking. So one side of the brain will immediately start activating the other side. So in order to keep both occupied, you can visualize something. And if you're an artist, you are really good at visualization. That's, why you're a good artist. If you can draw something, it's because you can picture it in your mind. So then you could also picture whatever you want as an image that is inspiring. In that way, there are many possibilities, like you can find a deity, or you can have a yantra, or you can have the sun, for example, which is actually the object of meditation in Gayatri Mantra, whichever image you want to use. But for many people, this is difficult. To really close their eyes and see something like that, difficult. But what is not difficult is to imagine those characters. So if you say in your mind, Om, you see this A-U-M coming in front of you. Bhur, B-H-U-R, coming in front of you. You don't have to see it very clear. You just have to try to see it, try to picture it. That is enough effort to keep that side of the mind occupied. So in that stage, to work with the word and the image is quite good. You could try without, no problem, whatever feels good. But if it doesn't work very well, if you get frustrated about all the thoughts that come in, try to block your mind more by giving him image and sound. Then Once you feel comfortable in that, then you have to try to maximally reduce variety. That's fourth step. To bring the mantra to its seed. So in that stage, there's no more visualization, there's no more emotion, there's just inside, of course. Very, very calm, as simple as possible. That is fourth stage. Fifth stage is when the mantra is going on, but you are making minimum effort to keep it going. It's a difficult stage. The whole idea in meditation is that at some point the meditation goes on by itself and you are no longer involved with it. They call it, you have to drop the doer, the one who is doing the meditation. But how can you drop the doer? That's also a doing. The doer cannot drop the doer. It cannot drop itself. It can only try not to hold on too hard. So while in the stage before, your focus may be really strong and like making a great effort, once that is going a little bit, try to do it with less effort. Try to soften your focus. Try to become more and more calm about it, and you will see at some point, you will be witnessing the mantra being chanted by your mind. And just a tiny little effort of you, just your attention to it, will be enough to keep it going. So that is stage 5. Stage 6 is when you experience, as I explained in the beginning, this deep peace, silence. Somehow the mantra stopped, but thoughts did not come. And you are just there. And then you are in the beginning stages, as they call it, of samadhi. And what happens after that, I can talk a lot, but this is not so much the subject of today. But the one thing I can say about it is that in that phase, visions may come. Strange visions, both agreeable and disagreeable. The main thing is, just witness it. Don't go into it. Don't start thinking about it, because then you are dropping out of your meditation. Just maybe go back to the mantra or whatever and forget about it. It's not important. It's just things that come out of your subconscious. Your conscious mind is gone at that time. You are no longer knowing, I am Peter Marchand, I have a father, I have a son, and I have a work, and tomorrow is going to be that, and yesterday was nice weather. No, all that is gone. So that is why things from your subconscious start coming out, and this is a very important cleaning process. Actually, this is the only true progress anybody can make in spirituality. It is the cleaning out of the subconscious. It is that which brings real change. All other change that comes through yoga is relatively fleeting. You do a lot of meditation, you become more calm. Then you stop doing the meditation, and then you again become more excited. So that is not very, secure. But if some fear inside you, some deep-seated fear, which makes you more nervous, without you really knowing why, if that can come out, if that can be digested in deep meditation, then you will be rid of it, and then you will feel, suddenly I am really more calm, and this is no longer going to change, because the reason why I was not before is gone. So that will come, but first get to the stages before that. No? So anyhow, an important understanding there that came from Western science is the existence of neural patterns in our brain. You may have heard about that. Neural patterns, they are links between nerve cells in our brain. So nerve cells talk to each other with electricity, but this electricity does not jump like from one cell to another. It goes through a thread, a tiny thread. And the funny thing is that the more you use a particular channel, the more you use one of these threads, the thicker it becomes. And the thicker it becomes, the more easily you can use it. And otherwise, if you have a thick thread somewhere, and you use it less and less and less, consciously, then this thread will become thinner and thinner until it may even completely disappear. So in that way, our whole life, we have created all these patterns in our brain. Some big highways which we easily follow. Somebody, for example, with an anger issue, you could take a microscope, go into his brain and see, oh yeah, here, he's got this really strong anger response to certain stimuli. No? But now back to meditation. If somebody has been doing a mantra for a very long time, then also that will be visible in the brain of that person. That also will be a certain pattern. And this pattern will link with other patterns which relate to calmness, which relate to inner joy and all these more spiritual kind of emotions. So the mantra then really becomes a trigger for feeling good, the more you use it. Which also means that when it's about mantra meditation, it is best to stick to only one mantra. For other purposes, you can use any kind. You might even do meditation with a particular mantra for a particular period of time to heal yourself or of this or that. But that is still different from what you use to go into deep meditation. There it is best to stick to one mantra only, and I'm again not saying you can't change like halfway of your life and you find some other mantra which suddenly seems to have a great effect on you, and okay, you go for it, it's your choice, you are free. No? But don't change every year. That's ridiculous. That's really ridiculous. Because mantra meditation is something which you should be doing or thinking about doing for quite some time. Then it will become an enormous power inside of you. And then whenever you feel unrest or unhappiness, just once repeating the mantra inside of you will take it away. That is the power that a mantra has after it has been used for a longer period of time. And then the question, of course, is which one? Where to get the right one? If we have to use it the whole of our life, it's not so easy. But it becomes more easy if you understand that there are different types of mantras for different types of purposes. So there are mantras for healing, and there are mantras for other very specific things. Those are not mantras to be used so much in meditation for the rest of your life. That is not very logical. There are mantras which are more worldly, like they will bring you more money maybe, or something like that. All that, not very interesting for meditation. There are only really a few mantras which are so general and so very spiritually orientated that they can be used. And one of them is the Gayatri Mantra, which we will talk about in detail. And there are quite a few others also. I'm not saying there's just 2 or 3, but there is not so much choice there. So these days it's very easy to hear all these mantras somewhere, and then the one which you feel is working for you, then take that one and stick to that. That is basically how to do it. You can wait till some teacher whispers a very special mantra in your ear. That can happen. But usually that teacher whispers the same mantra in every ear. That is my experience. So it's not all that special, anyhow. Just see what you can find. And Gayatri may be a good one. Because it's very general and because it's not so religious. Like most Westerners, they have a problem chanting to maybe Ganesh, elephant-headed god. Although he's also quite, interesting, because he's also like a person who is very spiritual generally and otherwise no particular qualities. No? He is representing that, lightness of spirituality. So Ganesh mantra may be another one to use. But for most people here, this is not coming from our culture also, so a little difficult to associate with. While Gayatri Mantra really addresses cosmic consciousness, it doesn't even name it. It says, you who are everywhere. Bhur is the physical world. Bhuva is the astral world, the world of thoughts and dreams. Svaha is what we would call heaven, but is only like the first stage of heaven. Tat savitur varinyam, you who are radiant, who are producing so much light, that is consciousness. Bhargo devasya dhimahi, yo yo na prachodayat. I better distribute actually now the papers. You can pass it on. There should be enough. It's very general. And what you are asking, Dhyo yo na prachodayat, is just some help in meditation. So to use it as a mantra used for meditation is very logical. So actually the story of the Gayatri Mantra is that Gayatri, who is a form of Saraswati, who is the wife of Brahma, the creator, and she is like his muse, his inspiration, his creative energy. She is the sister of the sun, Surya. And Surya is one of the oldest symbols of cosmic consciousness. It's like the biggest thing in our small part of the universe, and the one which brings all the light in our universe. That is why it is a symbol of consciousness. So as the story goes, Gayatri is so much in love with consciousness, with the sun, that she transforms herself into a mantra which sings his praise, and as such ceases herself to exist. So she has become this mantra that we are going to chant. And you see also on the picture here where in the body are the different energy centers that this mantra is working on. And if you analyze that, then you will see that all the major centers are involved. So this is so powerful about Gayatri Mantra that it will work on all your major energy centers, 24 different ones, plus actually 4 more through Om Bhur Bhuva Svaha, which are not actually in the core of that mantra. So then again, in terms of what it means, Om Bhur Bhuva Svaha, you who are everywhere, in all the worlds. Tat Savitur Varenyam, you who are divine light. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, maybe also attain that light, maybe increase that consciousness inside of us. Dhyo yona prachodayat, bring us to wisdom and meditation, or help us with our meditation. So this is a very simple, not really so religious thing. So for Westerners this is quite good, yes?
What's the role of the written?
You mean written japa, when they write mantra?
The written, the speed.
Rhythm, sorry. Well, in the beginning, the rhythm can be relatively fast, but in order to slow down your breath and your whole system, after a while it should go more calm and more slow. That is generally what is to be done with the rhythm. Same as with the sound, no? Should be in the beginning quite strong and then become less and less strong. And knowing the meaning of the mantra is good, but it's of course not the idea that you are thinking about it when you are doing the meditation. Actually, most Indian people also have the same kind of understanding of Sanskrit that we have, meaning they can learn it, but it's not their language. Their language is Hindi. So they also don't so much think about it when they chant that. But on the other hand, it's good to know what you are chanting. And you can use also other prayers. Like if you are more like a Christian from upbringing, you can use Maria, you can use Jesus prayer or whatever. That's also there. You can even use certain thoughts, like I am that. It's a very typical jnani idea. I am that, which is, but which you can't name, so that's why you call it that. No? But if you meditate on I am that, you don't really know what the sound effect of that is inside you. While in Sanskrit this becomes soham. No? And there the sound effect is known. No? To have a particular also pacifying, tranquilizing effect on your energy body. So in that way, mantra seems to me more powerful, but anything goes. I mean, in mantra meditation, the main thing is don't think anything else, only that. If you can do that, the meditation will be okay. The mantra working on your energy is just helping you to reach that. That's all. So, I suggest we start doing something now, because I've been talking about it so much. I suggest we start doing one mala. We start chanting, and we will go chanting slowly, less loud, until at the end of the mala we will mostly be mumbling. So that you experience a little bit that phase. And since most of you are new to it, it's best to do it like that, so that you have the time to learn the mantra. In the beginning you can look on your paper, of course, but after a while, 108 times, it's pretty long. You will know it by heart and you will just sing it. And then you can close your eyes also. This is better. I will lead. Somebody has to lead. So listen a little bit to me. Don't try to go higher than me. If I am going lower in sound, it's because I want to go lower in sound. It's because I want us to a little bit chant more quietly. And my experience with the group is that there should be a little bit of rhythm to it, because otherwise it's difficult to sing together. If it goes very slow, then we'll start, creating a lot of chaos in the group. But if you are chanting on your own, at home, and you feel like chanting really slowly, very good to do that. To reduce the rhythm makes it a lot more calm. But that's not something we can do so much as a group. You don't have to watch your breath. In some meditation techniques, breath is also like synchronized with the mantra. But here, with this mantra, it's first of all quite difficult because it's a long mantra. And second, not so very useful. Sitting is sometimes a little bit of a problem, but so if you feel a little pain or whatever, just change your posture. Don't let it annoy you for a long time because you don't want to change your posture. Try not to think about it. Just you feel, oh, this is hurting a little bit. Okay, I'll change, but just change without thinking about it. If we do very long meditations, sometimes we do it for like 6 hours or something. Then some people even just stand up for a few minutes, even walk around for a few minutes, but always continue to chant the mantra. try to put as little attention in that part of the story as possible. And in the end, when I come to the last bead and the last mantra, you will hear that I sing Prachodayat. No? My yat is going much longer than normal. And then you know, okay, now we are done. No? But if you would not hear it because you're in some kind of trance or something, then no problem, but always finish the mantra. So if you are singing one more, no problem, but finish it. Don't stop halfway. This is actually very important. And after we do this now for half hour, we'll have time for questions maybe. And if we then have more time, we can do one more mala. And then really try also a little bit going inside. Start chanting out loud and then slowly, slowly come to inside mantra meditation. So any questions before we start? Yeah?
Melody is changing.
Yes, melodies can change. No? Pronunciation is quite important because that is what affects the energy centers. But the melody is different. So I have my melody. You'll just have to follow that one. It's, sometimes a little difficult if you've been using Gayatri Mantra before with a different melody. Okay, you'll need to learn this new song. But this one I picked up at the Santoshpuri ashram. And funny enough, when I came back the next year, they had changed it. But I was sticking to my original way of learning it. So that means, you know, you can make your own melody at some point or whatever. The melody is not so important, whatever feels good to you. The melody that I use is neither very, how would I say, neither too beautiful nor too boring. It's a little bit in between those two extremes. Like, so the mind is engaged, but not too much excited. Because you can sing mantra in a very like rock fashion, if you want, but that's not really the idea. So yeah, use some questions maybe to support your very